94 Rocks the Dark. It is that time to get to know a band. Here we play On the Dark, and I'm excited to talk to Margarita Monet. She's the lead singer of the band Edge of Paradise. And in fact, I had a chance to talk to Margarita. It was over 5 years ago, back in March of 2017. They had just put out an EP called Alive. We were spinning their latest song, Alive. And it's great to be alive and hanging out with you, Margarita. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
You know, lots has happened in the past 5 years, and we won't bore all the listeners out there with all the details, but I guess I want to know what kind of has happened with the band Edge of Paradise since the last time you and I had a chance to talk back in 2017. Can you give us just a little bit of a synopsis of kind of leading up to the pandemic, which then basically shut everything down?
Oh, yes. It's been an eventful 5 years. So after we released the EP, we did some touring. Then we released our album, Universe, in 2019. And that's when we went to Japan for the first time. And we had a great tour in Japan. Then when we came back, we went on our first European tour, because the first time the band's ever been to Europe was actually in 2017 for a festival in Netherlands. So after we released our album, Universe, we got to do a full European tour. It was close to 30 countries with the band Sonata Arctica. And then we had a lot of touring plans for U.S. and Canada and South America for 2020, but that's when everything shut down and we had to regroup, and we went into the studio and created our latest album, The Unknown. And it was sort of a silver lining for us because it's our best music. It's so meaningful to us, and now we are ready to go back out on tour.
Yeah.
And share the music, of The Unknown.
That is awesome. And unfortunately, though, you're not going to be in the U.S. yet. You're still going to go to the U.K., it sounds like it. And actually, this weekend, you're flying overseas for looks like 3-4 weeks over there, it sounds like. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's about 16 shows. We have some in U.K., then we're going to Belgium and Netherlands. So yeah, it's a shorter run, but after we come back, we're going to have a lot of U.S. shows, and then we'll have tours announcing pretty soon. So we're just excited to be back at it, and we're building our stage show, so it's going to be a very, we're going to back up the cinematic music with a visual show.
Is it like starting all over again? Since, I mean, it sounded like you had all this momentum, and then obviously the pandemic happened, and then everything obviously was shut down. The one nice thing, I guess, for bands was they were able to get an opportunity to be creative during that time, maybe pull back, see what they needed to do, make some new music. But now you're just itching to get out. But does it almost feel like you had all that great momentum going, and now you have to almost restart yourself again, especially in a band like you, because you guys have been only out for a little over 10 years or so, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, we've been, the first few years when Dave and I formed it, it's basically us figuring out what we wanted to sound like. So now we kind of say that, the band as it is now really been together since 2017, because that's when we kind of found our sound. And, but yes, you're right. I mean, there was a period of time where we were really bummed when the pandemic shut everything down, because we had such a great momentum going with Universe and with touring. Because once you get out on these, on the tours, and everything sort of starts really elevating. And we had so many, plans to, reach more and more places in the world. So yeah, of course we were pretty bummed. But, The Unknown is, I don't think we would have made this music if it wasn't for the shutdown, if it wasn't for these feelings that were going on. And So I'm kind of grateful. Looking back, everything sort of happens for a reason in a way. So we're grateful that we got to do this album and we got to film these music videos, and it sort of put us in this creative space, and we met a lot of really cool people along the way. And, our production team is as solid as ever. And, we got great new management. So we're just happy where we are at right now. And we're really looking forward to the future. And we're actually halfway through writing our next album. So
wow.
Things are moving fast.
Yeah, so, obviously something like a pandemic, which really changes everybody. Actually, not to say that we ever wanted it to happen, but for Edge of Paradise, it seemed like it was a good time to regroup and to get ready to get out there and do the next big thing. And I'm excited about this because, you released a song called Go Higher, which we're spinning currently here on 94 Rocks. And it was a winner of our Rock of the Dark New Music Poll, so there's a lot of people that are liking it. But it seems like this song might be that song that really starts to push you in the direction where I think you've always wanted to go and become bigger. Do you feel like this is kind of that song? I mean, how fitting the title, Go Higher, so you're trying to get, more popularity. But is this the song maybe that's going to put you over the hump and finally people are going to know Edge of Paradise is going to be a household name?
Yeah, I mean, we really believe in this song, and it was one of the songs that wrote itself with this album, and it really became the centerpiece, and just it holds so much meaning to us because it sort of embodies all these years that makes the band who we are. And actually the other day after the show we were talking and we're trying to figure out the whole, because we're traveling this weekend and there's some logistics, and David, our guitar player, is like, we always seem to figure it out, so let's just go and show up and figure it out. And it's kind of been how the band's always been. Whenever there's an obstacle, we tend to always figure it out and find the positive and sort of focus on that and come out of the other side, in a better position. So we always wanted to embrace that, and with the music, always put out a positive message. And the song really embodies that. And, this is actually Go Higher is a radio edit, but it's the title track, The Unknown. So on the album, it's a longer version of the song. And, in the lyrics, it says find strength in the unknown. So whatever the, whether it's, what tomorrow holds or what's beyond this life, you can apply it to a lot of different meanings. But, we want to find the positive in what the unknown is. Mm-hmm. So
nice.
Yeah.
We're talking with Margarita Monet. She's the lead singer of the band of Edge of Paradise. We're talking about the song Go Higher, which we're spinning here on 94 Rocks. Mm-hmm. And, you've always, I think, wanted to be a performer, but when we had talked 5 years ago, and people can actually go back to our YouTube page and listen to that interview. But you had mentioned, obviously, you were a pianist, a classic pianist, and then became a singer. And obviously, that is a big transition. Sometimes going from behind the instrument to on the stage. It seems like now you've really gravitated towards that singer role. Is it something you've really truly embraced now, and are glad that you did it?
Yes, definitely. I'm from years ago now I'm in a completely different place, and I've definitely embraced it more, and I'll keep evolving. But, I've always been a performer. I did play the piano my whole life, but also been in theater, I've been in dance. So it is natural for me, and I've always gravitated to performing. I'm really grateful that I did play the piano my whole life, and I was more in the classical music world, earlier in my life. So now it really helps me because I love the cinematic element of the music, and it really helps me to create that side of our music. So actually, these last few shows, we would do an instrumental song, so I play some keyboard in it. But live, I'm definitely more out front, carrying the, having that experience, singing the music live with the people. It's like one of the best feelings that you can't even describe. I absolutely love it.
Right. So. Now, obviously, I can't play the piano and I can't sing. Okay, so I'm in trouble. But obviously, you're a performer, and the singing part, probably was a little bit nerve-wracking. But over the time, have you had some people that have helped you out, maybe in the industry, to kind of hone your craft a little bit better, or have you looked up to some people, I guess? And if there is that, can you let us know who that was?
Yeah, when I first started singing, I kind of went into it at first. And we recorded our first album, Immortal Walls. I call it our first album, with Michael Wagner, because it's the first music that Dave and I wrote together. And then having that experience, Michael Wagner worked with everyone from Metallica to Ozzy to, so he had so many stories, and it was just so inspiring to be in his studio. And he did push me, but he also gave me room to figure out how I wanted to sound. And I always had the mindset that I didn't want to have limits. So whatever I heard in my head that the song needed, I just figured out how to do it with my voice. And having that mindset, I feel like, really helped me to figure out what I could do with my voice and just helped me keep evolving. And now, of course, I'm a completely different singer from where I was, 5-10 years ago. And, of course, working with Mike Plotnikoff and Howard Benson, it just, it keeps pushing me to new heights. So
right.
I am, Mike and Howard, they really helped me find more of an edge to my voice. And I've always wanted to find a place where I have a lot of dynamic in the song, so it's not just one sound. So I've always kind of strived to do that too, whatever the meaning or the words, basically have the sound convey whatever the feeling of the music is.
Well, it's funny because when you listen to Go Higher right away, you almost have like this princess kind of voice at the beginning. Something, like you'd see in a movie or whatever, and then all of a sudden later on you just belt it out, and it's just okay, we can get into that.
I do have that softer side of my voice, so it's fun for me to really express that, because I am an emotional person in a way. I guess you have to be when you're a musician, because you have all these thoughts and feelings inside of you that you want to put in the music. So your voice is just an instrument to express that.
Right. We're talking to Margarita Monet, of course, Margarita Monet of Edge of Paradise. Now, you're going on tour, and obviously you're the only female in the group. So when you go out on tour, and I guess what's it like going out with 4 guys on tour? Are you having to take care of them? Are they taking care of you? Are they messy? Are you messy? You said you're emotional, so are they having to comfort you? I mean, what's it like, I guess?
No. I'm not emotional in that sense.
Okay.
I think the guys are more emotional than me.
Oh, see, I knew there'd be some dirt on this. So
no, it's they're such a great group of guys, and I mean I've known Dave for 10 years, so he's like a brother, and David, we're all close, and Kenny is the new one, so we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of humor in the band. We all kind of make fun of each other. I think Jamie gets it the most because he's from Colombia. And
okay.
But they're all a great group of guys, and when we do need to, we just take care of each other and we look out for each other. But I never really thought of, I'm the only girl. they never made me feel like that.
Right.
So I guess I can hang with the guys.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
That's good. Hey, you know, you mentioned Kenny. You said Columbia, right? Is that what you said?
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie's from Columbia.
Yeah.
But you guys actually have a lot of different nationalities, don't you? I mean, you're not even.
Yeah.
You're originally from Armenia, right?
Yeah, I was born in Armenia. I lived in Russia. Then, I mean, I moved. My family moved to America when I was 11, so I pretty much grew up here. But yeah, I do have a lot of. My mom's have Georgian. I have a lot of different roots in me. Dave is. He's from Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
David is, he has Mexican roots. But throughout the history of the band, like we had a bass player, Vanya, that. In 2019, and he was Serbian. So
wow.
We always had a lot of nationalities in the band, which is, it's always interesting because you hear a lot of stories and cultures, and we really like that.
Right. I'd be curious to get the cooking of everybody coming together. The different nationalities, different dishes, in that.
Oh yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah. Do you have a mean something that you make like specialty? I guess if the whole 94 Rocks family came over to Margarita's house, what would you make?
Oh, well, I would make this Georgian dish. It's called satsivi.
Okay. I'm not going to pronounce that again.
It's really good. It's basically you bake chicken with a lot of it's a sauce made out of walnuts and almonds, and it's just really flavorful, and it's really good. And of course, you got to make crepes.
Oh yeah, yes, yep. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, maybe you'll have a cooking show in the future too, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I got to ask you a couple of questions that I asked you 5 years ago. First of all, I asked you some bands you'd love to play with at some time. So I got to ask if you've had a chance to play with either Rammstein or Korn yet. Have you or not?
No, but
okay.
It might be in the future.
Okay. So that hasn't happened yet.
Not yet, but I mean, we're working on our flames so we can outfire Rammstein.
There you go. Exactly. And then the other question is, have you been to Minnesota yet?
Oh,
you said you went to Wisconsin. You said is the closest you've been, but
yes, we've gone to Wisconsin. Yeah, we haven't hit Minnesota. Minnesota was on our tour with Hammerfall for 2020 because we were going through all those states and we were going into Canada. Yep. But unfortunately, we all know what happened in 2020. Right. So we have yet to go there, and we will.
Okay.
Very soon.
Yes, you do need to come here because I'm sure we have a lot of fans that listen to 94 Rocks that would love to see. Maybe you'll have to come to one of our radio shows that we do. That would be cool.
We would love that. Absolutely.
We'll have to think about that in the future. Hey, I know you got to get going, Margarita, but I guess once again, I'll give you the mic here. If there's anything you'd like to say out there to your listeners, to the fans, if there's anything that you're getting behind right now, the floor is yours. What would you like to mention?
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for listening, and thank you for having me. We're grateful to share the music live, and also I do a lot of art. So if you guys like to check out some art, visit our website, justparadiseband.com. So we're just really excited to share the music live and announce some U.S. tours very soon. So keep posted for that.
Awesome. And it's great to catch up with you. We'll have to do this quicker than 5 years. Sound good?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Hey, have fun overseas, and, I would say break a leg because that's what a terminology you're supposed to do, but don't really do that, but have fun, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Once again, that is Margarita Monet. She's the lead singer of the band Edge of Paradise, a winner of the Rock of the Dark Due Music Poll a couple weeks ago. Here's their latest song. It's Go Higher. It's on the Dark. It's on 94 Rocks.